Awesome. Okay, again, thank you for joining. This is our last leg for the HOP 16 training, and we are now on session 6. So today we will be introducing you the recorded session of different thematic areas for COP 16, which Sefa mentioned about the agenda items for COP 16. And then after the break, we're going to do a bit of a short session on planning, and we'll see what you will be doing after this training. Okay, so before that, let's try to play a game. Let's have a recap on what we have learned from the previous sessions that we have regarding COP and, of course, regarding the KMGBF. If you would, please. So if you have your phone, please scan the QR code, or you can go to the link. We'll send it in the shot so that you will have the access. So we'll share you the Menti link in the chat box. Okay, there we go. We're gonna do a bit of recap today for the session. Yeah, let's wait for everybody to get in. So we sent you the link and the passcode in the chat as well. Woohoo! It's very exciting. Let's see how much we remember from the previous sessions that we have from session 4 and 5. Okay, we'll wait for the others to come in and then we'll start. So how many? So we have 14 players already. Cool. So for those who have just came in, please go to the Menti link, which is in the chat box. Let me share that again so that you can be part of the recap game. Okay, sending that again in the chat box. Okay, we'll just wait for others to come in. If not, then we'll start the game. So we have 16 players for this game. Oh, now you have 15. Oh, now you have 14. Okay, now 16. All right, so I guess we have 16 to do the game for the recap. Maybe, Gretel, let's start with the first question for our participants. Okay, this is very easy. Which statement is part of the KMGBF 2050 vision? Ooh, everyone knows this. And we're up. Yes. So our answer is living in harmony with nature. So that's part of the 2050 vision of the Kunming Montreal Global Biodiversity Framework. So we have 11 people who got it correct. So how many goals does the Kunming Montreal Global Biodiversity Framework have? Is it 2, is it 3, is it 4, or is it 6? Do you remember how many goals we have for the KMGBF? Yes, we have 4. So if you know the 4, can you type it later on the chat? So we have 4 goals for the KMGBF. So if you remember, Sefa was presenting the A, B, C, and D goals for the KMGBF. And later, we'll see how many of you can remember those 4 goals are. So can we see who's the leader for this game so far? Woohoo, Nas. Okay, so you have Nas and Ponpon Patapon for the leaders board. So next question. Oh, it's changing now. Yeah. It's between Nas and Pluto and Ponpon Patapon. Next question. Third question. How many targets does the KMGBF have? Oh, this is very easy as well. You know this by heart. Everyone has voted. Yes. There are 23 targets for the KMGBF, and we already know this. And also, would you know what target 22 is for this KMGBF? Okay, next question. Oh, now you see the leaderboard. Okay. Who's leading? Oh, wow. Nash is still the fastest. Go, Nash. Can you go next? Okay, so which targets highlights ensure the full, equitable, inclusive, effective, and gender responsive representation and participation of the youth? Oh, this is very easy too. So which target is it? Is it 3, 22, 12, or 23? And yes, it's target 22. So the youth target is basically on target 22 with this language. So it also includes children and youth, indigenous people, and local communities and women as well. So that's on target 22. Next question. Yay. Oh, Nas. Nas is very quick. Okay, next question. What's the highest decision-making body of the CBD? Let's see. These are very easy questions from our last sessions. Yes, of course, it's the conference of the parties to the CBD. That's why we have COP 16. Woohoo. And we have 12 people who got it right. Nice. Whoa. Ooh, very close. Pluto and Ponpon Batapon. Right, next question. Ah, this is very tricky. So what flower is the symbol of COP from Cali, Colombia? If you're listening to Cefa, you would know this as well. Yes, it's Inirida. I hope this question is kind of like a make or break question from our leaderboard. We'll see. But yes, so you remember the flower? So it's kind of like the flower that symbolizes resiliency and adaptability from the last presentation. Oh, oh no, Nas. So we have Pluto on the first, and then we have Ponpon on the second, and we have Nas on the third. And I think we have last question, is it?
Second last.
Oh, second last. Thank you, Gretel. Okay, is my internet slower?
Mark, you okay?
Yeah, so my screen is not showing it for your question.
Okay. So 14 of them got it correct, which is the blue zone, and 3 of them got it wrong, which is the green zone. So the
Okay.
negotiations will happen in the blue zone. Place
Yes.
Quebec
So
is where our pavilions will happen. Yeah.
yeah, so my screen is just showing now the result. So it's taking longer time. And next slide. So who's our leader now? Wow. Okay, so for our last question, so we have Ponpon as uh the lead. So what are the priority issues for COP? Or what is the priority issue for COP for the youth? Yes. So all of these are youth priority issues that you wanted to monitor and you want to have interventions for COP as well in the next month. So we have 12 people who answered correctly. So who's our champion for this game?
Mark, the champion is Patapon from 7,000 points.
Yeah. Thank you, Ponpon. So can we have an identity reveal for this? Is this you, Bricks?
It's me.
Oh, it's you. Oh, I thought
Oh
it
my
was a
gosh,
Filipino. I thought she was
all
a
the
Filipino.
Southeast Asian spoil market.
I
Oh,
feel
Mark.
like super nerdy, and I'm also happy that I made you say pon pon patapon so many times.
Okay, thank you, Mark, and hope everyone enjoyed that very quick recap on what we had from the last sessions of the training. Thank you, Greta, also for sharing the screen. Can we go back to the main slides for today? So the session for today is going to be quick because we only have the thematic area presentations, and these are recorded sessions that you will be accessing later. And then we will have just a short sharing sessions on what are your plans for COP16 if you are a delegate, and or you are also following the online discussions and negotiations for COP16. So for the recorded sessions, Gretel, can I share a screen as well? Let me share my screen.
Wait, park the bike first. What do you need? Yeah.
Let me share my screen. Okay, can everyone see my screen now?
Yes.
Okay, so remember this presentation from SEPA about the COP16 agenda, and there are different priorities that we have, and also some of the discussions were recorded for us to have more idea on what these agendas are, and we will share you that link later as well. So the thematic areas that you will be viewing are in some way preparations for you to better understand some of the COP16 agenda when you go to following the negotiations in COP16. So what we have right now are these thematic areas that you can look. So we have recorded videos from our policy team regarding indicators. We also have thematic area for biodiversity and climate change. We have thematic area for biodiversity finance, synthetic biology, We also wanted to share with you policy discussions regarding marine, coastal and marine. And then there are also different thematic areas for cooperation for the planning, monitoring, reporting, and review, or the PMRR. And the last of the list would be on the NBSAP. We also have the IPLCs, the SIPA, the Peace and Environment, and the DSI. So our policy team did a great work of introducing this agenda item in a recorded session, which you can view later offline when you have the chance, or if you have the chance to look into the YouTube videos. So on this session. So just to introduce you that concept for the recorded session. So I'll share you now the link for this sessions as well, so you could go to the YouTube later in your free time. So part of the list as well are the recorded sessions from the previous one. So from session 1 to 4, we already have that on the list. So if you could just access it for now, and let's see if the link is working. So we'll give you time to access the link just to check if the links are working. And then we move to the next part of the session. So let me know in the chat box if the links are working, and then we can move ahead with the next part of this session. Awesome. So Nadia said it's working. How about the others? Were you able to access the links? Right. Thank you. Okay. So now you can access the link. So right now the thematic areas have no other language recording. Right now it's in English, but we will do our best if we can do if our logistic can do the translation. But right now we have only it on English. But I hope that would be the information enough would be sufficient for you to understand better some of the agenda items that will be discussed in COP16. Okay, so now we move to the next part. So we'll have a group photo first, and then a break, and then we move back to the breakout session. So if you could open your camera for a quick photo of the group. And I'll let Gretel as well to take the photo for today's session. Gretel, please.
Yep. I have about 2 pages. Let's give a while, let them open their cameras. Okay. Wait, okay, ready? 3, 2, 1, smart. Okay, give me a moment. One more. Page 2, 3, 2, 1, smart. Give me sorry, page 2 one more time. 3, 2, 1, smart. Okay, done.
Awesome. Thank you, Gretel. So we're just gonna have a quick 5-minute break. So when you come back, we're gonna do a bit of sharing on what you plan to do in COP. Either you're a delegate or following online in a short breakout session. So we'll see you after 5 minutes. Okay. So let me know if everyone's back after the break. Send me a thumbs up or just put something in the chat so we could start with the last part of this session on a bit of a sharing on what's your plan regarding COP. So definitely there are people here that's going to COP as delegate, and there are people who's going to be part of the online for monitoring what's happening in COP. So you'll be discussing that with your own breakout groups. So for today we have 4 breakout groups. So we have 2 groups for English. We have 1 group for the Spanish group and 1 group for the French group. And we have an amazing facilitators to help you navigate on the questions for later. So Gretel, if you don't mind, can you share the link for the Miro board in the chat before we separate into groups, please? Awesome. So you can access the Miro board on the chat right now, and I'm open now the rooms for your breakout sessions. So for those who have not been given the group, please choose your language on the breakout session because there's no specific language in your RAIM right now, so we can't allocate you in the session. But please feel free to choose the breakout session with your language as well. Okay, need permission for the board. Let us share with you again. Okay, so for those who haven't joined in yet, please join your group. So Elliot, for you, since you have 3 languages, you can just pick one. Which are you comfortable with? So it's either you go to an English group or French or in Spanish. So just go with the group. And that applies to the others as well here in the main room. So
Sorry,
please.
I'm trying to find the breakout room, but I don't see it. Could you please help me out? English is okay.
Yeah, so you can look into the bottom part of your Zoom, and that's where you find the um breakout. So I can assign you. So which group would you like to go?
English or Spanish is fine. Any.
Okay, I'll send you there.
Thank you.
Hola. So accept when I. And the others, Aurora would be going to. Sophia, I'll send you the English. Okay. Else in this room. Elliot, where would you want to go? Okay, French. I'll send you to French. There we go. How about you, Michael and Soilam? Nicolas or Espanol? Okay, I'll send you there. Okay, Sedulo, your English. Soilam, French. How about you, Michael? What group would you like to go? And Ferdinand? Innocent? What group are you? Are you on French or are you on Spanish? Hi, Ferdinand. I should bring you to a breakout group. What's your language? Are you French or Spanish or English?
Okay, I sorry for joining you last time. I speak French.
Okay, let me send you to the French group.
Okay, but please, you can just brief me.
There you go. Isufu, are you here? What language are you? So I could bring you to your breakout group as well. Hi, Victoria. Are you here? Hi, Michael. Can you put your language on the chat so I can send you to your group?
Hi, Mark. Can you put me in the English room one, please?
Okay. Uh, you're you're in you're in English room 1 now.
Yeah. Because my laptop is freezing. That's why I'm not.
Would
I
you
have
like
to.
to put okay, let
Yeah.
me so okay. So your this account is on 2 and I would move to 1, right?
Yes, please.
Okay, now I sent you to 1. Wow, group one is quick. How was the discussion from group one?
It was okay.
It was okay. What do you expect?
Okay. Okay, I'm closing now all of the rooms. Let's wait for the others to come in.
Nadia, why we so kiasu? We leave the room, then end up we are still here. It's the same thing.
Okay, bye.
Do we have many delegates going to COP in your group?
Yeah, for my group, quite a lot. I think it's a almost equal split.
Split between what?
Online and delegates.
Around, we're just talking about how many delegates are coming from your group.
Oh,
Do you have many in your group, Mark, who's going to COP?
yes. Everyone except me.
Oh, wow.
Wow. Wow.
Okay.
Makes
Okay, so I
sense.
guess everyone's already here. Does the group was able to identify your reporter just to share a bit of the discussion in your group? So perhaps you could start with your group, Gretel, who will be sharing.
Okay. My group will Aubrey and Nadia will be sharing.
Good luck, Aubrey.
Should have been silent. Hi, good evening, everyone. For group one, where I'm for online participants, well, Gret's pledge to assist with Youth Pavilion and social media and support chapter members who is going specifically from Singapore. And then on my side, coordinate with Given Philippines on how I can assist our volunteers for side events. So I'm still 50-50 if I'm going or not. But so yeah, so for now it's online. And then follow the developments of NBSAP for Philippines, especially the 30 by 30 by target. So organization is one of the main lobbies for the 30 by 30 Southeast Asia. That's why it's also a priority for me. And also, given Philippines have been able to join the updating of the NBSAP. So the Philippines, we've actually completed up to the national consultation, but I'm not sure now if they've finally submitted the updated NBSAP. And learn from fellow youth delegates about navigating the international negotiation space. And other members also mentioned creating specific strategies based on the training to implement in relevant projects or initiatives in their community. And post COP is to stay updated and follow the ongoing discussions and development in the future.
Thank
It's your
you, all.
turn, Nadia.
Nadia.
Okay. For some of us who will be going, there's Thomas from Canada, there's Kamari, and there's me. We're going as a delegates, and from Canada, as per Thomas mentioned, that he'll try to promote youth networking and educations, especially focusing on fighting against planetary crisis, and also I think having fun, because like we'll be meeting wonderful people and understand better on how youth can be involved in the national and global initiatives, and I think I can tap into +1 there. So that's also one of my things, that how to survive COP, because this is my first time going, and not to die during the COP. And then from Kamari's side, she's hoping to build her confidence in understanding the facilitating discussion, especially on agenda item 8 on NBSAPs and how young people can incorporate meaningful youth participation in updating and implementing the NBSAPs. That's also, I think, a lot of us sharing quite similar agenda. For me, I'm trying to observe a lot of things that can be happening during the COP and specifically prioritize our engagement with our national focal point and sharing our national survey mapping to serve what's the needs and the feasible recommendations that are for youth to participate in any biodiversity action plan, not only it's the NBSAPs. And also part of the Southeast Asia, since we're doing the mapping youth projects, youth contributions to the KMGBF. So I'll be sharing about that also. And I think that's it from group 1.
Thank you, Nadia. Thank you, Aubrey. And it's good to know you have plans for assisting with the youth pavilion and the social media as well. Do we have questions for group 1? Please put them in the chat so we could ask them later. And now we move to the second group. Mark, would you like to share? Who would be sharing on your group?
I'll share. Sorry, I literally forgot we had a mural, so I just wrote everything in my notes. My group consists of Nas, Claire, Carla, Sophia, and Bricks, and all of them are going to COP except for me. Yay! So COP, I'll go one by one. Carla will be focusing more on coral and oceans, and she will also be going there to support some of the youth, to try and support some of the youth and networking programs. And post of COP, what she wants to do is she wants to design a report or article based on the key takeaways of youth engagement on oceans and corals, but also to be holistic enough to be more general. And this report, she wants it to be, not just a report that outlines what people are doing, but also form recommendations on how to sustain and improve current youth engagement. And the next one is Bricks. So he will be going as a delegate representing ASEAN, the ASEAN Center for Biodiversity, and the Hans Seider Foundation. So he will be taking up a very big communications role to collect stories. And through these stories, he's going to be doing daily postings to maximize communications for the COP side. So topics that he's interested in include testimonials from different stakeholders that work with youth, biofinance, the ASEAN Youth Biodiversity Program, invasive species, Afro-descendant people representation, Oceans 5 or 30 by 30 campaign, biodiversity and climate change, and IPLC, youth and conservation. And post of COP, he is considering to set up a communications group because communications is very important, and currently there is a lack of synergy between communicators. So hopefully that can be something that would be nice to do. Claire, she's going as a secretariat for the Pacific Environmental Program, and she will be supporting young people and Pacific Island countries and representatives for 9 agenda items. And post of COP, they are considering to set up a given Pacific regional chapter. So there are currently no national chapters in the Pacific. And what COP will help with would be through networking, especially, and creating that culture before setting up the regional chapter. Sophia will be taking a look into biodiversity finance and biodiversity climate nexus, as well as ocean-focused discussion. And she will also try to use COP as an opportunity for networking and yeah, that's it. And the last one would be NAS. So NAS will be looking into the different kinds of talking points, especially from different stakeholders. How what is their perspective and how do they advocate for negotiations during COP? And he's hoping to bring that back to his country in Singapore and see how it can be adapted and taught to the locals. I hope. Okay, so this is all for our group. Did I cover everything properly, group mates? I hope so. If there's anything that I miss out, please feel free to unmute yourself or write it in the group chat. Thank you.
Thank you, Mark. And it's good to know there are others working on different areas as well. So, on the thematic areas that I shared with you, you can look into more on the details of, for example, marine policy. Perhaps that could help you, Carla, and IPLCs as well. And of course, there's also biodiversity finance on the recording. So probably that will help you as well. And the people who did the recording, the policy team are going to COP, so you could talk to them personally regarding the topics that you would want to learn more and you would want to do in Cali as well. And perhaps Briggs, we could also connect you to our communications team because you're doing communications in COP as well. So that's probably good idea as well. Thank you for that. And now we go to the Spanish group. Do we have someone to report? Daniela and Rara? Are you reporting, Daniela? We can't hear you right now. Oh, probably because you're on the interpretation. Yeah. Let me remove you on the interpretation first. Okay.
Removiendo a Dani del equipo de interpretación para que ella también pueda hablar en el chat de todos. Y yo aquí les voy a traducir lo que ella diga ya.
Daniela, wait for a second, and then I'll add.
Espera un momento, Dani, y ya estarás compartiendo.
Okay, can we try again?
Okay, can you hear me now?
Okay, perfect.
Perfect.
We can hear you now.
Thank you very much. So, well, we had a pretty interesting group. Most of us were women, and we came from Peru, from Chile, from Argentina, and basically Latin America. And I would like to share my screen with you. This is in Spanish, don't worry, I will translate. So we focused a little bit of more than what are we going to do during COP, because actually I'm not sure if all of us are going there. What are we going to do after that with this capacity building training that we had? And basically the main idea was implementation. And in all countries, they are in different stages of their MVSAPs and of their activism. But for example, in Peru and Chile, they are going to have interesting opportunities of doing participating in consultations. And then now that they are aligning efforts in their countries to their MVSAPs, they are going to follow up these efforts and to align their actions as chapters, because we have coordinators chapters during the Spanish session, how they are going to do that for implementation. And there were also some reflections on how these sessions help particularly people in given chapters to strengthen their capacities in political incidents, but also some other people who didn't have a national chapter. This can help to build their own national chapter, and if not, to strengthen also the things they are already doing in the territories. Particularly, we had some examples about the work with in agriculture, working with women and working in a sustainable management of use of biodiversity. And Let me think what else. We also talk about some gaps in implementation, and that we are interested in learning why are these gaps and how can we don't have the gaps anymore. And we would like also to connect the subjects of this, what we learned in the capacity building sessions, with the research, because some of us were also doing research. And finally, we had also political incidents and the generation of partnerships and alliances for implementation. So implementation was a word that we used a lot. And we also noticed that because of the framework and the convention, there have been some new projects that are being released in the countries. So they said that this capacity building helped them to understand better the process and now to align their efforts to the framework and the convention. And I also forgot that they were also interested in all the technical aspects, like the negotiations that is going to be followed, that now they can relate as their personal, professional background to one of the subjects, now that they know that they exist, and they would like to learn more. And also a chapter said that they wanted to develop a version in a national context of this capacity building. And this is particular for Chile. And yes, that's basically, if I forgot something and my partners are listening, they are more than welcome to tell me what else is there.
Wow. Thank you, Daniela. Those are very good plans as well from our Spanish group. And I think that's very also important on how to bring the learning from this training going to the national level. So that's really good. So I guess on that side, let us know how we can help. We have these recordings that you could also share to your national chapters later on. So that's really good. Thank you. And now we go to the last group who will be presenting in the French group. Michelle or Aminata, so that I could remove you on the interpretation. Is this you, Aminata? Oh wait, Aminata, let me bring you first to the main panel so we could hear you. Yeah. Okay, are you here?
Yeah, I'm here. It's okay.
Now we can
I'm
hear
in
you.
the okay. I'm in the good room.
Perfect.
Okay, good. So we don't get interpretation in French, but I think it's okay because we work on it. And I say the mirror that didn't work. So Michelle shared me some ideas that she put. We in the francophone areas, it's important to know we have many areas in this francophone, because during this session we find the Belgium group, and we got Camille. She's a youth delegate from the Belgium government, and she will attend it to the COP. We work on the Francophone, the Gibbon Francophone work with Logic to have a big delegation youth from Montreal, and this youth will attend to for them for the first time in this cup. We got also so there we didn't finish to create, I think, we didn't merge all the group to have a big francophone group. So it was really interesting for us to learn each other. So we talk about the advocacy. So we really want to be committed after the COP on advocacy on preservation of natural ecosystems, and also to work on finance of biodiversity. On education, we got one woman from Canada. She's working under education level, and she after the COP she will be able to work in the schools level, and doing some implementation with youth and children. And also, we got some of her in this group who want to work on their health and the rights and the human rights. So it's really important also to understand the youth, their mental health, to work on this topic, because it's a topic that we didn't talk about very much on during the COP. So after the COP, it's important also to do a survey to understand the mental health of youth in their biodiversity areas, in the francophone level, to understand what they are dealing with and how we can help them too. And also we talk about I talk about also the survey to understand also much better the needs of the youth in the francophone level. It's important, and how we can help them also. Yeah, it's I don't know if someone can to add something. Edwish, you can unmute yourself if you want to add something, or Michelle. Let's go. Thank you.
Thank you, Aminata. Those are also amazing plans, and especially after COP. I think probably the questionnaire on mental health could work for the others as well, especially to the given team. Maybe we could also consider of doing that after, especially on those who are actually doing really hard on the preparations for COP. But yes, thank you, and perhaps there are also activities.
Merci à tous.
There are
So can I
activities.
go to the other room?
Yes, let me just
Thank
bring
you.
you to the other room.
Thank you. Can I switch? Thank you so much.
You just and there you go. You're there now. Okay, so I was saying, so you are able to hear everyone's plans, especially those who are going to COP. So now is the time for you to network with them, and perhaps you could work on some ideas as well during COP. So before we close, does anyone have other ideas or questions regarding the sharing for today? Yes, please go ahead.
I have a question from Sophia. So she's wondering if does anyone know if there's a list of the pavilions available during the COP16? Because she can't find it anywhere on the COP16 website. Thanks.
Is this the youth pavilion, or is she asking the general pavilion one?
I think general and youth, both.
Okay, so maybe we could answer first the youth pavilion. Perhaps Gretel, you could
Yeah.
bring more.
So for the youth pavilion, the schedule is not yet out. We are still in between deciding which are the topics and not topic, which are the events that we're gonna have in the youth pavilion. Yep. But I can answer in my opinion, the other pavilions also. Most of the time you have to go down there in person to check at Place Quebec. Yeah, the pavilions can range from youth, women, indigenous, to like things like your companies, universities. So it's quite a good mix lah. If you have the time, do take a look if you're at Cali, Colombia. Yeah.
Yeah, so the pavilion are kind of like based on the organizations who would want to do that. So probably that's why it's not on the website. But what on the websites are the side events that you can check for if you wanted to look more into the activities. But for the pavilions, I think you could just look into the organizations who would be handling. So for example, Gibbon has the youth pavilion. Other organizations like the ASEAN Center for Biodiversity have their own pavilion as well. So those kind of things. So it's not really COP who's handling or at least the CBD handling the pavilions in the COP. Okay. I hope that answers your question, Sophia. Are there any other questions or thoughts to share before we close?
Oh, yes,
Okay.
sorry. There was one question from Bricks as well. So he was wondering earlier, like, is there a designated place already for youth to be meeting like every day during the program?
That's a good question. Correct me if I'm wrong, Gretel, but right now there's no meeting place yet. But definitely there are coordination meetings that will happen before the start of the activities during the day. So that's 10 a.m. onwards. So before 10 or 9 a.m., given delegates will have their own coordinating meetings. So we'll notify everyone for that specific information once available. And I think probably in the next few weeks we'll create a GC for the delegates for COP. Am I correct, Gretel? Yes? Okay. Awesome.
Hint, maybe after at the youth pavilion, you can meet some of us who are going. Yeah. Yeah. And I think the policy team will have morning meetings also. And like previous COP in our experience also within Asia, we specifically reached out to the people who are there to meet. So yeah.
Yeah. So just to add to that, so expect different meeting schedules with Gibbon and then your chapters as well. So probably they would want to meet you eventually during COP. Okay, do we have other questions?
Question, sorry. Have the
Yes, Paula.
delegates been assigned? I haven't heard anything.
Good question. So yes, so the delegate for Gibbon is being finalized now. So hopefully we are able to hear news regarding who are selected for COP16. So please watch out for our social media accounts and your email. They would probably send you the updates in the next few days for this announcement.
Thank you.
So, yeah. Thank you, Paula. Any more questions? Okay, looks like we're done for today. And again, thank you everyone for going and having the time for the session. Let me just share again the link for all of the recordings of the session and the recordings of the thematic areas for those who came in late. Just give me a moment. Okay, so let me just paste it here again. So here, you can check all of the recordings on this link, including the thematic areas that you wanted to learn from. We are also trying to record other thematic areas, including biodiversity, health, and those other things on the list. So watch out for that as well. And we'll populate the recordings of session 5 and 6 in the next few days as well, because those are the ones missing. And last is the attendance sheet. If everyone could please sign the attendance sheet as well, which I will now share on the chat. Okay, so thank you everyone for coming. Thank you to our facilitators and super thank you to our interpreters who have been here for the whole webinar series. We really appreciate you, and thank you for the Gibbon team who have been handling the tech, the moderation, and the sharing of presentations. Thank you everyone. So yeah, so we'll see you in Cali, everyone. Otherwise, we're gonna monitor online those who are not going to COP.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you,
See you
Mark.
soon.
Thanks, Mark.
Thank you, everyone. Bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.